I see live people. I see dead people.
Hello everyone watching, you are watching Savcast. I'm going to bring you a 1v1 versus BratOK, the yellow Terran spawning in the left position, against Destiny, the purple Zerg spawning in the right position. We're here on Metalopolis. I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the players. BratOK, a very well-known Russian player, Brood War veteran, came to success sort of in the late 2000 years, sort of 2008. He was really quite successful in Brood War, probably the best Russian Terran at least. And he's been very successful in StarCraft 2 as well, only missing out on a few European tournaments due to some visa issues, as no one in Europe likes Russians apparently. But here we have ROOTDestiny. I expect a lot of you will know about this guy. He's probably the most popular streamer on Team Liquid, a very competent American Zerg player, recently joined Root Gaming, a very competent team. We've seen some games recently from some of their players as well, so I'm really quite excited about this matchup. Should be a good TVZ, my favourite matchup, and probably the quintessential StarCraft matchup ever, Terran versus Zerg. So we're here on Metalopolis, a very well-known ladder map, 2 watchtowers in the middle with the gold bases, quite easy for Terran to take, especially once you get a planetary fortress down. You put siege tanks here and prevent a Zerg from taking the gold. Plenty, it's quite easy, especially in cross positions as we are here, for the Zerg to take a nice fast expansion. So it'd be interesting to see whether BratOK does, Destiny does that. Sorry. It's really nice weather here in the UK. I'm in London, and it's really nice and sunny, and it's only March, so I may have had a couple of pints of gin and tonic. So I'm sorry if this isn't the best cast ever, because I'm a little bit tipsy. But yeah, it looks like Destiny going for that early hatchery, for the 15 hatch. So he's going for a definite sort of economic build, getting the early hatchery up. It's going to let him drone up, get a much better economy than the Terran. We'd have a look at what BratOK's doing. He's got his barracks up, going for this standard wall in with the supply depots, vulnerable to Bane Bust, as I have said before. He has his gas up, so it doesn't look like he'll be expanding just yet, getting his auto command as well. Does look like he might well go for a factory soon after this, as he hasn't put a second barracks down. Is cross map. It's much harder to 2-rack Zergs if you're in these long positions across the map. The Marines come much later, and the Zerg's far more likely to have a pull up with Zerglings to deny that early pressure. Sorry, coughing a little bit. And it looks like Destiny actually taking the gas. It's going to give him a little bit of extra scouting. He's going to be able to see how many sort of SCVs there are around. He's already got a good scout off, and this actually, by doing this, he definitely knows that BratOK is not going to be able to do any sort of early Banshee play by denying the early second gas, although it's going to go down quite quickly, I think. But really, you want to sort of get your gas around 20, 21, 22 supply. That's normally a good timing for a Terran second gas when they want to do some early sort of Banshee play. So that's a nice, sensible thing for him to do. And actually, BratOK cleverly pulled all his other SCVs off gas, and I think he's going to be going for a faster span. He's going to be going off one factory, one barracks. He's just going to be pushing out some Marines, sending them out probably to just get a bit of map control, and we might see some Hellions early on as well, which we are going to see, because all from what he's already seen that Destiny far expanded. He knows there aren't going to be sort of any roaches just yet, and Destiny is just droning up now, 21 to 19 harvesters, so a little bit of a lead for Destiny. That's quite good. And speed not being researched just yet. He doesn't quite have enough gas. He's got enough gas now. Is he going to put the speed down? Is he going to put the speed down? There we go. Well done, Destiny. Good little Zerg. And Destiny being very sensible, just putting down a couple of spine crawlers. These Marines, I don't think are going to cause any trouble with the 2 queens here. There's too much defense here, especially with the spine crawlers going up. He might actually want to cancel one of those, because he doesn't really need both of them. Hellion coming in as well, but it doesn't have blue flame. It's not going to be able to do anything dangerous. Destiny now just producing a few Zerglings, about 4-6 Zerglings, just to be able to sort of push off these Marines, and he's going to be able to deal with this sort of early poke. This is just very clever from BratOK. He's just going to sort of show a few units, scare Destiny slightly. He does the second spine crawler build, and just make him build a few more Zerglings than he would have wanted to. And we see now that actually by doing that, BratOK gets a harvester lead. He's now 23 to 21. So there we go. That just shows the importance of, as Terran, to always just putting a little bit of pressure on a Zerg. As long as you're careful, and you know that the build that the Zerg player has gone, he went for a fast expand, he knows speed isn't going to be out yet, he knows the timings, and just showing a few Marines here is just going to make the Zerg worry slightly. I don't actually think Destiny really needs to build those Zerglings as he had the spine crawlers. You probably just want to do one or the other. or maybe just one spine crawler, because that number of Marines is never going to cause any trouble for especially with the 2 Queens here as well. They're great at tanking damage. But no, he's just spreading out these Marines, checking out what sort of where BratOK is. BratOK now getting up a tech lab in his factory. He's put 2 more racks down, get a bunker. It's very safe now. Not going to be much Destiny can do for a while to put any pressure on. He's just sensibly got an overlord over there just in case there's going to be a drop or a Banshee or something like that coming around to cause some havoc. 2 Evo chambers down, so he's going to be getting some really early upgrades, getting +1 melee and +1 carapace for his ground units. I like that a lot. Sai while ago showed a really nice Terran ZVT build where he went for sort of really heavy Zergling play with lots and lots of upgrades, and they can be surprisingly effective against standard tank Marine. So it'll be interesting to see what Destiny sort of decides to do with that. BratOK just with a Hellion out at the standard Zerg 3rd, checking that that's not coming just yet. And we just check the harvest leads, and Destiny now droning out really, really well, 41 to 33. Expect their incomes are pretty similar. BratOK with a slight lead, as he does have double mules now from both Orders of Commands. Mules are worth about 6 harvesters or so. I won't talk about balance because that will open a can of worms, but you can think what you like. I'm a Terran player, so I think mules are fine. But anyway. So it looks like both players are just going to sit back and macro. I wouldn't be surprised if Destiny thinks about taking a 3rd sometime soon. No pressure coming from BratOK at the moment, so he should feel quite comfortable. Bunkers up normally shows that a Terran is wanting to turtle rather than putting some pressure on. Occasionally you can fake with bunkers. Sometimes you sort of will, while you're one basing, put a bunker at your ramp where secretly you're actually building up forces, whereas someone might think you're just teching. But I don't think that's not the case with BratOK here. He's just building up a sensible number of Marines and tanks to deal with any Zerg pressure, and that will let him take his 3rd in a few moments. He's just getting up Stim +1, keeping on pumping. He's got his missile turrets up. Sorry. As I said, I'm a little bit tipsy. I might stumble over some words, but it's too sunny not to have some gin and tonic. It's so lovely. My housemate bought a massive bottle, like a litre bottle of Gordon's. It's so good. So honestly, we never get this weather in Britain. We're spoiled. So the upgrade's nearly finishing now. This Hellion got absolutely smashed by all these speedlings, huge number of speedlings. And they're in very similar surprise. BratOK just ahead by about 8 supply actually. But Destiny actually behind on harvested, so he's built a huge number of Zerglings that maybe he didn't really need to at this point. BratOK ahead by 48 to 72. Is it BratOK or BratOK? I know there's always an argument sort of about what it should be. But yeah, Destiny getting his 3rd up after taking out the Hellion. So he should probably try and do something with his Zerglings, but I think this defense here, we can see BratOK getting up his 3rd base now. With these bunkers and these tanks here, maybe have a tank up here as well. That's always a good place, but it might get sniped by Metalopolis. You always have to be careful with that. So I wonder if really that was the best thing for Destiny to do, whether he really needed to get all of those Zerglings. Could have had a few more drones, although I expect he's still behind 53. This really great macro. I mean, Destiny is now droning up again. I think maybe he was just a little bit cautious about what BratOK was going to be doing. He wanted to have a good number of Zerglings to be able to lock down any aggression. But now he's droning up. Now his 3rd is up. He's going to be able to satch that very quickly once that has finished. And he's getting Baneling speed. Really good upgrades. He's got 2 carapace now. We're nearly finished. And still the +1 melee, but +2 is on its way as well. Lord's Spire now going up. So really nice upgrades. He's going to have 2 on his ground units. All buried Banelings. Normally you don't want to have this number buried next to each other. It only really takes about 2 Baneling explosions to kill a clump of Marines, so you only really want 2, but he's just hiding them for now, I guess. But a little bit dangerous having that many Banelings clumped together there. Infestation Pit going up. I just want to throw a quick word out that this is a game played before 1.3 came out, so Festa's the fungal growth change has not been implemented, and also the new fancy replay things haven't been implemented either. That's why I'm not using them, because this is being played on an older version. Just letting you guys know, I am looking forward to the new replay abilities, like showing supply next to each other, rather than having to press A and looking at sort of this. But BratOK getting quite a nice supply lead. I mean, he's up by 27 supply now, and they're very even harvesters. But although actually Destiny's overall income is about 500 ahead, and very similar gas. So I think he's saturated his bases much more evenly. BratOK actually only just now getting his 3rd up. But there's an engagement here. Sorry, I missed that. Very sorry. It looks like Destiny ran in with a whole load of speedlings, but it didn't look like it was the best thing to do. BratOK able to stim all his Marines, so they seem to take out a huge number of speedlings. And yeah, look at that in the supplies. It's reflected in the supplies. Destiny now having to rebuild all those Zerglings, 20 Zerglings at once. And he is getting his hive up. That's quite a nice early hive. So we could see some interesting tech coming out. Maybe some Ultras, maybe some Brood Lords. It'll be interesting to see what he decides to do. Tank Marine, probably you want to go for Ultralists. Groups of Stim Marines are quite good at taking out Brood Lords, as they are very slow and easy to sort of get underneath. Depends how you use your Banelings to take out the groups of Marines. Destiny now getting up the gold base. Really like this creep spread from Destiny. He's taking the map, as BratOK really hasn't put any pressure on him. He seems very content to just sit back and take a nice third when he wants to. +2 attack now going up for infantry for BratOK, the Terran player. He's keeping these bunkers here. Obviously he doesn't feel he needs the minerals. He can salvage them for all the 100 minerals back when he wants to. These Banelings still sitting here, not really using them at all. So yeah, it looks like we're sitting back for a long macro game in this match. +2 vehicle weapons going up now, and 3 more barracks on the way for BratOK. So he's really going in for quite a heavy marine base play. He might see some marauders sometime as well. They're very good at absorbing Baneling blows. And actually we're getting Carapace 3 and Melee 3, so I think we definitely see the Ultralist. The Ultralist cannon is being built now that Hive is up, and some Mutalisks coming out as well. So it's a burst. Oh, it's a great scan by BratOK. As I said, it was dangerous leaving all those Banelings there. He loses a couple, but is able to rescue the rest. Very good reflexes from Destiny, able to spot the danger. He's looking at this mini-map very well. Huge amount of Speedlings, and these are going to be 3-3 Speedlings. So it's sometime soon, once the upgrade's done. So this could be quite dangerous. I mean, tanks are good, especially against Banelings, but the Banelings do have sort of are a little bit more vulnerable to tank shells, as they are only 30 hit points as compared to the 35 that Zerglings are. You might not think that makes a difference, but that can mean sort of Zerglings surviving an extra shell hit. And Zerglings, when they're upgraded, can rip through a Terran army, especially tanks and Thors. And he has got some Thors out now to deal with the Mutas. Nice drop here. BratOK was not going to do anything whatsoever, and that Menivac's going to get picked up. Not really the best use of his Menivacs. Adrenal Glads going up for Destiny. Not an upgrade you normally see. It's a very late game upgrade, but these guys are really both upgrading brilliantly. 3-0 coming up for now for the Terran infantry, as well as a 3-3 on the way to Zerg. 3 Ultralists being built along with 20 Zerglings. Really nice, interesting build from Destiny here. Normally we see sort of Muta Banelings standard against Terran when they go Tank Marine with a couple of Thors mixed in, which is what BratOK has done. But it looks like we're seeing a very melee orientated build. Should be. I'm really interested in seeing that. And now the Chitinous plating going up for the Ultralist. That means the Ultralist is going to have 5 armor in total. I think not even more. Is it 5 or 6 with the 3-3 as well? They're going to be doing huge amounts of damage. The Marines are barely going to be able to touch them. BratOK now getting up his 4th command center. He's going to be looking bad. Stim Marines coming in, picking up a couple of Mutas, as well as the Thors and the mid-on turret. Destiny loses Mutas there, but he did get them quite late. So I mean, the earlier you get Mutas out, the more damage they can do normally, especially when you get them in big numbers. He might be able to snipe some SUVs here. No turret here, or here either. So it'll be interesting to see how much damage he can do. BratOK is still keeping the Harvester lead. This is really quite impressive. Destiny hasn't really suffered any aggression, and yet he has still felt the need to build up all these units without actually doing much with them. I know it's always the sort of dilemma of Zerg. Like, oh, look at that army. Wow. 200. BratOK nearly maxed out. Just needs to be one more supply depot. A little bit of supply up now. But these guys have just macroed up all the way and are just going to smash heads, I think. They're just going to run into each other. And there's so many Speedlings. 128 Speedlings. 3-3. 5 Ultralists. They do have 6 armor. So the Marines, even though the Marines have 3 attack, only do 3 damage a hit. That is insane amount of damage. So many Speedlings. That is crazy. Looks like BratOK is going to need siege up. He doesn't really have that many siege tanks at all. He's got 11. Doesn't seem like that many. Not against this army from Destiny anyway. Banelings coming in, but they need to hit the Marines. I don't know if they're going to. They're getting a little bit stuck. They are going to manage to get through the Marines. All the tanks. Speedlings coming in, doing huge amounts of damage to tanks. They're cleaning up all of these tanks. Marines are just going to have to run away. Oh, Banelings coming in. Nice split. Oh, it's too much for me. My lungs just can't handle it. The Speedlings getting this round on the Marines. And he's stimming again. Those Marines are so injured. Oh dear. This is not looking good for BratOK. He might just be able to manage to hold this off, but the bunkers might be able to do those. But the Ultras coming in with their huge upgrades. 3-3 now, and this is not looking good. And the Marines clumps up in the corner. Banelings getting there. It's not going to be good. Oh, some nice little micro. No more Banelings left now. The Ultras are just going to be able to do as much damage as they can. This is not looking good. BratOK down to 95 supply. It's 158. The Ultras is still cleaning out the Marines. The Banelings are going to be touching them. This is incredible play.